build an MS-06S Zaku 2. Alright, so it shows what sprues we're going to use here. Start with F. F, 1, 2, and 3. So be careful not to cut off anything that's not a nub. Sometimes some of these look like you're supposed to cut them, but be careful. So then what I'll do now is I will take this as I go with each piece, and I will sort of slightly cut these little nubs off, scratch them smooth, and then I'll go in with a little bit of sandpaper, knock it down flat. This happens to be, I think, 600 grit, 400, 600, either one works. So we'll sand that smooth, and we'll give like a nice little sand to all of it because I'm going to give it paint. It doesn't have to be completely sanded, just enough little scuff and a little bit of tooth on it. So I haven't cut that nub off yet. You cut off the bulk of it and then you sand it down a little bit more, but as far as the rest of it, I'm just going to do just kind of a light little sand. And then I like to use this kind of cloth for the little in-between little nooks and crannies. That just gives it a little bit of a rough texture for when we prime it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build and sand each piece as I go. So I will get these 3 parts, and I'll get up to step 1, step 2, and I'll go around until I get all the pieces trimmed, sanded, all the nubs off. And then I will finally assemble the whole thing, just like I did the chest, where all the pieces are already sanded, already scuffed up enough and ready for some paint. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's okay. I'm going to primer it. And the primer is going to stick to the plastic a little bit better and give it a good base for the paint to stick to. I'm trying this as an experiment to see if maybe this one's a little quicker by just doing all the steps to each piece as I go. So we'll see. Alright, so when you're cutting nubs off, there's a few different ways you can do it. So I mean, obviously you're just trying to get in here and shave that little nub off right there and make it flat. Now you can just go straight in and push, just push straight forward. You got to be careful when you do that you don't angle in and dig in too much and cut a big groove in it. There's also a way where if it's hard to push straight through, you can try sliding it, and that'll help kind of get the blade moving through. But once again, you got to be careful. Once it digs and starts to cut, it'll cut really easily, and you can go in and dig a big gouge. So what I like to do is come in, try to see how much of it I can do just by scraping it off here. And I'm always kind of cutting in and then angling up as I finish, because I don't want it to dig in. I want it to angle up and come off. And then if I get a little bit of a slope in it this way, I can just come from that side and cut the slope down from the other way. So we'll come in. See, I'm going to do a little bit of a slide there, but I'm careful not to let it dig in and bite too much. And then once it's pretty close, not quite perfect, but almost, you can come in and almost like scrape. Just pull the blade, lay the blade flat, and then you're gonna pull it. And if you do that just right, at the right angle, try to keep it flat with the surface here, you can get just enough kind of smooth it out, just enough to get where it's, you don't have to do so much work with the sandpaper. And then with the sandpaper, we'll come in here. Might need a new piece of sandpaper. This one's getting kind of worn out. Let's see. See, now I'm kind of using another trick too to kind of get the angle. Normally you want this to be as flat as possible to keep it, but I know that I want just a little bit of extra right on that nub. So I'm going to go in it just on there, maybe a little up and down. You can kind of see in the plastic where your smooth spot is probably a low spot. Just keep working it. Once you get the bulk of it off, then you go back to the flat. And as flat as you can keep it, the better. With 400 to 600 grit sandpaper, you're not going to be digging in that much though, so you can get away with quite a bit. But more or less, I might fine tune it more, but especially if it was a piece or a part that was going to be in plain sight. This looks like it's probably going to be inner frame, but do that on the other couple pieces or other nubs. I like to get up here on the balls too and knock that off. Sometimes these joints, if you get a big nub in there, it makes it hard for it to move around when it's in its ball and socket. So yeah, I'll just go around, just kind of lightly give it a little bit of tooth, they call it, a little bit of roughness for the paint to grab onto. And I'll finish it off with this scrub pad. I mean, I'm going to do more to it than this. That's just to show you kind of the process. But even just this stuff, see how it's kind of got a little bit of a dull finish now compared to the glossy, or even like some parts I haven't hit down here yet a little bit. Yeah, there's good contrast. The glossy here versus the scuffed up. That just gives the paint a lot more to stick to, and you'll hold up a lot better, a lot longer. So I ran into my first little oops here. I was trying to cut off this little nub, and I slipped, and I caught right there with the blade and got it a little deeper than I'd like. There's still a little bit of it hanging on there. So what I'm going to do is take this thin cement here. Oops, not get it on my finger.
Idiot!
And I'm just going to dab it on there. There, now it'll be a little proud. Let's see if you can see it there. But as it dries, it'll fill in that divot and then give me something I can sand and shape later on. Activator, amazing. It dries it like instantly. As long as I don't blow all the pieces all over the counter. Alright, so we got all the armor pieces done for the arms. So that's one arm, two arms. There's the hands and all the fingers. These are the shoulder, shield, and pad that go like up there. And all that will fit onto these arms. Now these have all been sanded, and all the nubs, where's the camera? There it is. All the nubs taken down. You can still see a little bit. I got a couple little divots to fill there. But like this one on top will probably disappear once I put primer over it, and if not, then I'll go from there and level it out. This one, the arm pieces, I have not gone through and taken off all the nubs. There's some there. I just kind of put this together. I haven't sanded it yet. I wanted to see how much of this inner frame is still going to be visible once all the armor pieces are on, because if I detail the crap out of this and then cover it all up with the armor pieces, it's not really going to, or it's going to be a waste of time. I do want to paint some of it and make the parts that are visible very detailed, but I don't need to go into all the extra work that's not necessary. This just kind of shows you how the armor pieces are going to snap on there. So a lot of that will get hidden. See, some of it will still be visible though, but most of it all gets hidden. So we'll just see. I want to put it together first and take a look at what I can see and what I can't see, and then I'll probably take it all back apart and sand the inner frame a little bit. I'll probably go in, like take these panels off, get in here and detail some of the parts that you can kind of see inside of. But as far as like way under here, I'm not going to go all in crazy detail. Still got all the legs to do, the armor of the legs, the feet, all the weapons. So Just sanding these, cutting these out, and sanding these arm pieces probably took about 4 or 5 hours. So we're in for a long haul here, but should be all worth it in the end. I like to torture myself, I guess.